What is going on, everyone? This is NinjaGeek here, and for today's video I wanted to take the time to review Rise of the Tomb Raider for Xbox One. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off, I wanted to talk about the storyline and compare it to the 2013 version of Tomb Raider that came out obviously in 2013, and they had the definitive edition for Xbox One and for the next generation, now called current generation consoles. So the thing is, a lot of people would probably say that the 2013 Tomb Raider story was better than Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I would have to agree with you on that one. It's not like, oh wow, this is amazingly better, and then the new version of Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, kind of sucks. No, that's not the case at all. They're both very good stories. This one, in terms of Rise of the Tomb Raider, has to deal with Trinity and the whole problem with them. And you meet some very interesting characters, and I'm going to talk about the gameplay coming up shortly, but just in terms of the story, the actual fighting through Trinity wasn't as good as the previous 2013 Tomb Raider story, so that the only reason why that I would say, like, if we never got the 2013 Tomb Raider, I would say, wow, this story is great, but since we have that one, we have that to compare to, and it's not as good. However, it's not bad either. It's a pretty dang good story, so if you are looking for a good game for a story to pick up, I would highly suggest getting Rise of the Tomb Raider, of course, on Xbox One. Not sure when it's coming out for PS4, or if it is, but I know that it's been delayed for that at least, and I know that it's an Xbox One sort of exclusive, if you will. But going further in depth into the story, I kind of wanted to talk about the end boss for each of the games. So, in the original Tomb Raider 2013, the final boss was, I think it was not much simpler in terms, they both were kind of difficult to defeat. You had to defeat them in certain ways. However, that boss was one giant kind of robot mech kind of thing where you have to hit it in certain spots and you win the game. However, the Rise of the Tomb Raider boss was just this giant helicopter, and then you had to fight waves of enemies. I think it was like 3 times until the helicopter actually goes down. And my thing with this is, which one is better? I think that the original Tomb Raiders here in 2013, again, is better just because of its simplicity. I mean, you have the waves going, and it's kind of confusing, the end boss, and then it's like, oh, now we're defeating this helicopter. And by the first time that you shoot, like, the fire into the helicopter and it starts, like, getting damaged, I think the helicopter would have went down already. I don't know why it would still be afloat, or not afloat, this isn't a boat, why it would still be flying in the air when it's, like, on fire practically. It seemed a little unusual. I know it's a video game, but it seemed just a little bit off. So again, I would say that the 2013 version was better, but still, this Rise of the Tomb Raider is great as well for the final boss. So now, I really wanted to touch upon the setting between both Tomb Raider games. The 2013 one was set in an island on Yamatai, if that's how you pronounce it, but this new Rise of the Tomb Raider is set in around Siberia. So of course, the apparel that they're wearing is going to be different, obviously, because of the different temperatures, and I just feel like the original Tomb Raider had her outfit perfectly fine, and I felt that she didn't need a lot of customization to her outfit. Yeah, I don't even remember if you could change it in that game, but probably, but even so, if you could or couldn't, it's still, the outfit still looked great. In the Siberia one, it's kind of like, okay, now she's wearing all these, like, heavy coats. We get it that it's, like, winter, and we know that it's colder, but it's still not, I don't think it's classic Tomb Raider, so again, I think I'd still have to give up the better setting to the original Tomb Raider 2013 game. However, obviously both are not bad, but I just feel that the original Tomb Raider just got things right off the gate. Now, this is a huge one, gameplay. I have a lot to talk about, specifically about the gameplay. So the original Tomb Raider 2013, had like, you know, your normal stuff that you can do. You can, you know, grapple onto different things and use the mechanics within the environment as they come about. You don't get them right at the beginning of the game. You have to earn them, and throughout the entire game, you get different abilities. However, within Rise of the Tomb Raider, we get the same abilities that we do within the 2013, except we get a lot more stuff added on. And to some people, this may be like, well, you're adding too much on. Now it's just becoming overflooded with so many abilities. But to me, I think I prefer it this way, and I'm going to explain why. So, this game, I'm going to compare it to Quantum Break. If you know what Quantum Break is, I'm going to explain a little bit of that. So, Rise of the Tomb Raider took the original Tomb Raider mechanics, the gameplay, and put it in there, plus they added some. And whenever a new mechanic becomes available, they clearly explain to you what it's used for and how to use it within the world of Tomb Raider. And if you forget or something like that, the pop-up still comes up, so you know how to use it. However, if we're going to relate this to something like Quantum Break, obviously they are not even similar in terms of storylines. I'm just saying it because it's another recent game that came out. I did enjoy it. I'll leave a link in the description below and a card on top of your screen right now if you did not see my review on Quantum Break. But that game, I felt, had too many abilities, and most of the times it was just like, okay, we learned the ability in the beginning of the game, and then we don't know how to use it later on. It's like we've got a sidebar showing us all of the abilities that we can use. It's just like, well, I don't even remember half of these. And I felt like that game relied too much on the abilities. However, Rise of the Tomb Raider, I feel, is a perfect mix between having too much and having not enough. So I like that they took the original Tomb Raider's gameplay style and built upon that. So it's not like the same. It's not like we're going into it, oh, it's the same thing. Oh, there's nothing new here. We actually get to learn some new things, but they're not so far advanced that it's just like, wow, I wish they never put that into the gameplay. And then last but not least, I would like to categorize this game in terms of different categories and give it an overall score rating. So this one is pretty self-explanatory in terms of what I graded it, so it should be pretty easy here. So the gameplay, I gave a 9 out of 10. Obviously, it expanded upon the original ones. Like in the original Tomb Raider, I would have said the gameplay, again, was a 9 out of 10. However, here, comparing it, I think that the gameplay is still a 9 out of 10. Even it could be a 9.5 out of 10. I just don't know if I should add 0.5 to it because it's like, oh, but it's a decimal number. So I'm just going to keep it at a solid flat 9. Very good. The only thing that I would say that I have a problem with and have always had a problem with in the Tomb Raider world is that sometimes the hit detection is a little off. Like it'll show the red hit marker above someone if I'm going to shoot them, and then I do that. Like I fire and nothing happens. Sometimes that's an issue, but not all the time. So overall, I'd give it a 9 for the gameplay. The graphics in this game look exactly like the definitive edition of the Tomb Raider 2013, maybe a little bit better. The graphics are obviously outstanding for this game, but do they look improved over the original 2013 Tomb Raider definitive edition? Not really in terms of all that much, maybe a little bit. So I give that graphics a 9. The sound goes perfectly with this game. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that there's any parts that don't go together well. All the cinematics kind of go with the sound. So again, I would probably still give that a 9, maybe even a 9.5, so pushing that up to the 10 range. And then lasting appeal, I give a 9, honestly, because some of the achievements are hard to go for, so that pushes it back to a 9, otherwise it would have been a 10. But however, there are a lot of achievements in this game that you really want to go back and play for, because I think after you beat the story of it, and you get some achievements along the way, obviously, I think I'm only 21% done with the game in terms of achievements, even though I completely beat the game. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back, and obviously some of those are DLC achievements as well. However, you can go back, explore the world in a loaded save point of state, so after the game you could go back, explore the world, and see what you missed, get some achievements. So I feel like this game, I don't know if you would replay the story necessarily, but you would definitely go back through the world so you can get the achievements that you missed. So overall, this game, I give a 9.5 out of 10, but if you're rounding it down, overall, in general, 9 out of 10, because there are some things that I would give 9.5 to, but if you're rounding it in one whole number, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Great. The original Tomb Raider, I'd still probably get the 2013 one, of course. I keep saying the original because you don't want to go all the way back. I'm not saying that one. I've never played that one. But in terms of comparing both of these, I'd still rate these both high. I went honestly into the Rise of the Tomb Raider with lower expectations than the other one because I was like, oh, this is a sequel. I don't know how good this is going to be. And they're pretty much even. So if you really want to pick that up, I'm actually looking at the website right now. You can buy it new for like $30, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's not that bad. And also, I believe as right when I'm making this video, it may be a little late, but I know that they are having some sales on the original definitive edition of Tomb Raider, so that might be a thing as well. But either way, if you're looking to get into a new game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, if you enjoy it, pick up the original, like, 2013 one. That's a good one to start off with, and if you really like it, you can continue on your saga to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I feel that you will have a great time there learning the new stuff that wasn't in the original 2013 edition. So thank you for joining me for this video. I'm NinjaGeek. I'll see you on whatever my next video happens to be. I'm out, and peace.